Okay, I want to check the audio first. Make sure.
All right. All right, good afternoon. Today is election day. This is a special call meeting, Athens-Clarke County Board of Elections and voter registration. The date is November 8th and the time is 4:30 p.m. We are at 2555 Lexington Road, Athens, Georgia. First item on the agenda is to adopt the agenda. The chair will entertain a motion to adopt the agenda.
I so move.
Okay, second. Motion, Ms. Fambro, second, Ms. Till. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Agenda is adopted. Next item on the agenda is public comment. I believe we have one person looking to give public comment. Just-
Okay, perfect.
You can announce your own name if you'd like. I won't take it off your time.
I don't want to take
Hold
too much
on,
time.
one second. Let me set the timer. You'll have 3 minutes.
Great.
You can just state your name and
Hi, my name is Mary Catherine Barnes. I live in Athens and I am just on behalf of myself, not with an organization. And I just wanted to thank everybody for their round the clock work for this election season. And as well, just tell you that I had a really wonderful voting experience myself and everybody was super helpful and it was really quick in and out. And just thank you so much for all the hard work.
Oh,
wonderful.
Thank
Thank you so
you.
much.
Thank you.
Where'd you
All right.
The Linden House. It was wonderful. Oh, good.
Excellent. Okay, the next item on the agenda is election day update. If the members are okay, let's start with the director and then we could ask questions and then go from there, or I could just keep saying words until you're ready.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right, the floor is yours.
So in your emails today, you will find 2 incident reports. But before I start on that, let you know that as well, you have an update as of 2 p.m. today. We had 8,834 voters.
today.
Yes,
What was that number again?
8,834.
And that was 2 p.m., right?
Yes. I would like double that, but
Yeah.
What?
I would like double that. but-
Right, yeah. Well, hopefully people come out after
2
work.
hours, that means our poll workers will be bad at us.
Yes.
Everybody something about you.
Yeah, they was in such good spirits. The people that I visited, they were in such good spirits. They just good people, good people.
And I'll tell you, even during advanced voting, it was just an aura, I think, of that, just good spirits. I don't recall really too many that just stand out, that we had, problems or anybody addressed standing in lines long. I mean, I just don't think we had that at all. So, so a couple of things. So I wanted to, give you, an update on the incident this morning, with Winterville. So, after I got back to the office, we had received a phone call from the Secretary of State Deputy Director, Dr. Jesse Harris, stating that the voter had come there to make a complaint. Around 2:45, we received a call from Winterville Train Depot that the voter had returned to process the printed ballot that had been taken from the polling location. The same ballot that came to the office, the same ballot that went to Atlanta. A voter was very disturbing, which caught the attention of the city mayor, who called for law enforcement. The voter went over to the police department to release the ballot to, and I'm putting in quotes, a governing authority. Manager Buffington, Audrey Buffington, spoke with the mayor and explained that per state law, she could not allow tabulation of a ballot after it has left the voting area. The ballot is now null and void and is considered a voided cast ballot. And that, I referenced, Official Code 21-434 and State Election Board Rule 183-112-.11.
Would you read that again, please?
Yes, 21-2-434
Uh-huh.
and State Election Board Rule 183-1-12-.11. And we have this notice, we decided to make a sign for ourselves and for our poll workers that states these two ordinances, stating that if a voter leaves the premises, the voting area, the ballot cannot be returned, and that is state law. Staff is working on having the ballot returned to the polling location to the manager, who will mark the ballot as spoiled and will justify the inconsistency regarding the total number of ballots processed, cast versus the total number marked voters in the poll pad check-in, because they have to go inside. The numbers of the ballots cast, number of ballots marked, and number of names marked in the poll pad must correspond at the close of polls. If not, an explanation regarding the irregularity should be noted on the ballot recap sheet. The officer has returned the ballot. Well, no, not yet. We're looking for it to be returned. Approximately 3:30, a state investigator from the Secretary of State's office visited the location for an inspection, which is a normal occurrence on election day. We have investigators who visit our polling locations. Police officials have investigated the tag number of the vehicle and have found who the person is, or who the vehicle is registered to. So from that point, we'll do what we need to do. And if you want me to file that through the Secretary of State's office for the State Election Board, you can let me know that.
So does the board need to take an action instructing you to do so?
Well, I would normally do it anyway, but
It would just be official if we did.
Yeah, just to make sure I'm understanding. So if the group wishes to have you referred to the SEB for them to review, then we can do that. Okay. Well, the chair will entertain.
Is that permitted from, I mean, this is an emergency situation kind of a thing, but it's not like,
I mean, it's not a pressing issue to do right now. Is that what you're saying?
I don't think so.
so it not being on the agenda, I wonder if it might not, since it can wait until our next meeting.
Do you want to table it?
I wonder whether it should, I don't know if
Well,
it would be.
I mean, it would fall under election day update.
It
True.
would.
That's true.
It would. All we have to do is to, go back and, put this on the agenda.
Well, why don't we just amend it? Why don't you finish your update? Explain the
Yeah.
other one. We can go back, amend the agenda as we feel necessary.
Okay. So the earlier today, the ballot scanner malfunctioned at 3A Clark Central High School. The memory cards from the scanner were also corrupted. Voters will continue to vote on the BMDs and receive a printed ballot. And rather than inserting the ballot into the scanner, the ballot will be deposited into the secured emergency bin. At closing, the ballots will be securely transported to the Lexington Road location by poll manager and an additional poll worker. The ballots will be tabulated by our county's central scanner and allocated to the 3A polling location as election day results. As a part of the emergency plan, there's a sign that's being posted and was posted about 4:15 today that says the final results tape, which are required by SCB Rule 183-1-12, titled After the Polls Close, will be posted at the Elections Warehouse located at Athens-Clarke County Facilities Management Building at 2555 Lexington Road in Athens, Georgia. And again, that notice will be posted. I have two that's going to be posted on the wall here, or on the
Outside.
door, and then on the door at Clark Central. And they have also been instructed, which is another posting that should take place, is to post the ballot recap for the provisional voters.
Should we post it downtown too?
No,
No, okay.
because the state election board rule requires them to post the tape and the provisional at their polling location. And there are some voters who ride around and visit those locations. So I thought, rather than them go there and then have to call us, that a notice would be the best thing to do and would cover us. So that's what we've
So
done.
my question is, did this malfunction cause any delays? Or anybody's access to everything kept moving aside from the
Right.
ability to scan.
Yes, and our poll workers are trained to process any emergency plan, where it relates to the poll pads, processing the ballots with the scanner, the ballot marking devices. We have the emergency ballots there where we're required to have at least 10% or 10%. I'm going to, okay, yeah, and then yeah, we're good.
Wonderful.
Lisa, if you need to add anything to that, Lisa, McClellan.
No, that was it. You got it. There weren't any delays as far as we know. None were reported,
Great.
and the area manager was out there with the manager quite often today.
Cool. Okay, does that conclude your election day update?
Let me think. I think that's everything. We're getting a lot of calls. We've had a couple voters who called and said that they had copies of their identification. And so we asked them to come down to the office
Get it.
and get a voter ID and then go back to the polling locations and vote. We've had a couple provisional voters that, just funny things, and we'll present those to you, and it'll be your decision if we're counting the ballots or not.
Great.
And these are ones that are not related to the out of precinct between 5 and 7. So it's gonna be interesting to see how many ballots we have.
Okay. So let's amend the agenda and then we can go around and make some comments and then be done. So the chair will entertain a motion to amend the agenda to address incident number 1. I don't know what we're. Was that a motion, Ms. Amber?
Yes.
Okay. Do we have a second? Second, Ms. Till, all those in favor?
What should the motion read?
Okay,
Motion to amend the agenda to include.
Incident number 1.
incident number
Got it,
one.
thank you. Right,
Right, so the agenda is adopted or amended, excuse me. So. What?
Did we vote?
Oh, we did not, sorry.
sorry,
I
I
just
kind of
wait
cut things off,
for-
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mr. Chair.
Killing my rhythm.
I know.
All those in favor? Raise your hand.
Of amending the agenda?
Of amending the agenda, yes, that's all we're doing.
Okay.
Say aye, unanimous. Okay. Now that the agenda is amended, the chair will entertain a motion to refer this incident to the state election board for further investigation,
For the
I guess.
director to.
or, yeah,
For the
well, why don't we
director.
change that, so that to refer, to direct the director to refer incident number 1 to the state election board. How's that? And I'm happy to make that motion.
I'll make the motion.
Okay.
Sure.
And, so I'll second it, that's fine.
I'm just trying to make it read right. Motion by Mr. Turley to direct the director to refer the incident to the Secretary of State's office.
Can we
Yes.
have another word
Please.
there? Wordsmith somebody?
Direct, I would say request.
Okay.
Yes, thank you, wordsmith.
Words matter, don't they?
Yes.
Okay,
Request.
if
Okay,
you accept the friendly amendment.
absolutely. I move, the motion now reads, motion by Mr. Turley to request the director refer the incident to the Secretary of State's office for further action.
No, the state election. board.
There we go, thank you. Do the state election.
And then they will do as they,
Whatever they do.
PBI or
Yeah.
investigators. or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, usually it's the Secretary of State investigator that'll contact us, and then they'll decide if it should go before the board as a consent item, or if it should be.
Right.
Yeah,
Should I be more specific in what we were requesting that the director refer, which it
Well,
would be?
I mean, she did it on, she explained the whole thing on the recording, so.
But as far as the minutes, they won't have any mention of that. It'll be, so. The Winterville Train Depot incident, something like that, is that sufficient, we think? Okay,
Sounds ominous.
right? It's a great Winterville Train Depot.
Choo choo.
Right. Okay. Okay, so motion, Mr. Chair reads, motion by Mr. Turley to request the director refer the Winterville Train Depot incident to the State Election Board, seconded by Mr. Ralph.
All right, All those in favor, raise your hand. Aye.
Aye.
Aye, unanimous, okay. All right, anybody else have any other questions, comments, concerns for the director? I just like,
I might want to ask, I don't know, other than you, who I should direct this to, but going to the polling places, the fire station with Miss Shirley Spencer, she was requesting that we get permission to use the parking lot behind the fire station. That's UGA Med. For it, especially just the employees, to give 6 more parking places
We check into that.
there. And she was saying that she didn't know if we could get a policeman out on the street, but that the traffic moves so quickly that she thought it might be dangerous, people pulling out to go to the left.
Yeah,
So I just thought I would mention that to
okay.
you.
Well,
maybe the
check into that.
fire department could just put some cones or something just to make people go that way.
Hmm.
So,
That's
Okay.
for them to decide.
right,
I just report.
Mr. Shirley, go.
I was speaking to someone and they asked me, Director Cosby, about, some counties are planning to, they've been pre-tabulating their, early voting, advanced voting, and they're planning to post those results as soon as they can after 7 PM. I don't know to what extent that, I don't know what they're talking about. Are we planning on something similar or?
We're doing our tabulation at 6 o'clock. Hopefully, we will have that posted right at 7.
Okay.
Yeah, and shortly after that, our absentee, hopefully.
And that's the early voting count will come out at 7,
Yes,
absentee, and then 9-ish. We'll roll them out again.
yeah, that's my goal.
Okay.
Thank you.
Great. Anything else?
They were very appreciative of the lunch y'all provided.
Oh, man, they were.
Thank you. They were.
Man, they were
Yes.
over the moon. I mean, real.
They
And while I was over there, when I was getting out of my truck, the lady came out of the polling place and she was fussing. And I turned around, I said, "Are you okay?" She said, "Yeah, but I don't understand why I can't vote here. I've been voting here for years." I said, "Really?" I said, "Well, did you move?" "Well," I said, "Do you still live in Athens?" "She live in the next county." I said, "You know, the rule is that if you live in Athens, early voting, you can vote in any precinct. And if you, on election day, if you live in Athens, you have to go to your own precinct." I said, "So in the other cities in Georgia, if you live in that city, you have to vote in that city or county." Satisfied customer.
That's great.
Look at all this knowledge we got it.
All right, I will just once again commend our staff on just a well-oiled, wonderful machine. Everyone's tired, partly because of us, but everyone still has a smile.
Yeah, we're
and-
still friends with y'all.
Yeah, you guys are A+, best in Georgia, I would say.
And I'll just add, I mean, something we all know. Just visiting with our poll workers and seeing how much they enjoy doing what they're doing, calling it public service. I just wish, I guess all poll workers are like that, but I feel we have a special group out there. You know, one person, probably in her 80s, said, we can handle 14 hours. Another person said, much younger, sitting on the chair, saying, I'd like 2 shifts. I thought, all evens ours. Well, just wonderful people to be able to have that. So we have
Yes.
trained them well.
Thank you.
And 2 of our poll workers are sitting in on the meeting today.
Oh,
Waiting for the arrival of the other ballots on the
Okay.
office.
Okay, good,
Very
good. Well, can I also mention to you that, providing the lunches, it wasn't easy. You know,
No.
you consider people, You know, if you're gonna give somebody something, you want to give them something that they need and something that they can have, right? So everybody's picky, you know. I never met such a picky county. You got this and you can't have that, you can't have this. So anyway, yeah, my territory has been enlarged. So we contacted, first I started with the corporate office with Letha. It's been working. What can we do? We've been talking about $15 gift cards,
Yeah.
grocery store. We're gonna get sandwich trays from Publix. There were just some things that just weren't working out, and we were kind of relying on you guys to make the deliveries, and we knew that was gonna be cumbersome, you know? So anyway, what we decided, I took it upon myself to call Chick-fil-A corporate, and, the lady was real excited to talk about it, but she said, you know what? But you need to contact a local Chick-fil-A. So I figured that, and I said, we need about 180 lunches. And she said, oh, they'll work it out. Just make sure you call them so that they'll have enough inventory or whatever. And so I sent out an email. Well, first I called the Apps Road location, and they tried to get me with the person who handles the catering, and they couldn't. So they said, the young lady said, send an email to catering@chickfil-a.com or whatever. So I did an email, and I copied Aletha, thankfully. And when I got to work Monday morning, she had responded like at 7:30 that morning and said, we can make that happen for you. You know, and I had attached the list of the locations, how many lunches we needed for each location. I mean, and they were just on it. I mean, ready. Sent us and we told them we'll pay for it ourselves. You know, they sent us an invoice, and it come out to be like $10.35 per.
Wow.
Yeah, for
Mm.
$1,800. Yes, 180.
But, and you had gotten a budget for 15, so.
Yeah.
Great.
That's wonderful.
Saving.
Thank you, Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
There you
Yeah,
go.
Chick-fil-A.
You made a lot of people happy today.
They
Yeah.
deliver to every location.
Yes.
Also,
I mean, and with ease. I mean, you know what I mean? We didn't have anybody calling to say, we didn't get enough, or, you know.
so it was all delivered from one location or more than one?
They deliver to all
24
24
locations.
No.
Restaurant.
They use
Why-
three.
Yes.
They use three.
Yeah, they use 3 locations.
They use 3 locations.
Yeah, we got
And
3
they deliver
receipts.
24 locations.
Yeah.
All right.
Nicely done.
Yes.
They-
Top notch.
Chick-fil-A is the bomb.
I don't know anybody who picky about Chick-fil-A. Everybody like Chick-fil-A.
No comment.
Oh, sure.
All right, next item on the agenda are announcements. Next upcoming meeting is November 14th, which is Monday. And that is a regular meeting. We'll begin that at 4:30. And then we will certify the election that same day at 6 p.m. And we'll begin voting later this month. If we find out tonight, we're gonna have a runoff. So that'll be fun. And at this point, we'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I so moved.
Motion, Ms. Till. Motion, Ms. Fambro.
Whatever, I second.
Do we need to open the floor for discussion?
No.
Well, I know the director wants to say something.
Well, I would like to know, what you are thinking about for advanced voting, and I would like to just drop just a little piece of nuggets. Y'all know Thanksgiving's coming, right?
Mhm.
And I have had many of my staff tell me that I'm gonna have family over. I want to spend time with my family,
Mhm.
and I think that's deserved.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
So I'm hoping that we can, provide enough of hours for our voters. And rather than have any weekend voting, we will work till 7 every night except Friday, or do 7 to 7. And we have talked with some locations. Some are not gonna be available for us, and some will, and we'll get that information to you for your next meeting. So we can already have a plan and be proactive with whatever day
And the
we
election is
start.
December 6th, right?
December 6th, and
And does the mandatory weekend does not apply
No.
for runoff?
it does not apply, but, so we have a risk limiting audit that's coming up. The 17th, starting on the 17th.
Mhm.
from that point, I'm not sure how soon we're gonna have our ballot content. I do have kind of a timeline of what it could look like, but I don't know how close this election is gonna be, though both of the candidates for both sides said that whoever wins, they will be okay with it, but I don't believe it. So, hoping we don't have to have the kind of RLA we had in 2020.
Oh, boy.
So I'm just putting it out there.
Okay.
We'll be ready to start when we get our ballot project, but yeah, and time for LNA, because we have to do that. And,
And I can add that in order to start early voting on the latest possible start date, which is the 28th, we have to start on that Monday, the 28th.
Mhm.
We'll have to be ready to deliver equipment the day before Thanksgiving on that Wednesday.
Yeah.
So it's a really compressed
The
timeline.
25th is a county holiday, that Friday of Thanksgiving.
That Thursday, and Friday, and Friday.
And you can't deliver on the weekend because okay, all right.
Okay, one quick question. When you have time after all this is over, can you just look up the turnout for the runoffs for the previous year elections?
I will surely do that.
Because, yeah, I believe in staffing, but not overstaffing. So I would like to see those. Numbers.
All right, I'll
All
do
right.
this for you.
We have a motion on the floor to adjourn. A motion by Ms. Till, second by Ms. Fambro. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.